Hello, I'm Gail Gutsche, and I'm running for re-election to the Montana Public Service Commission. In most states, the Public Service Commission is called the Public Utilities Commission, with good reason. We regulate utilities like Northwestern Energy and Mountain Water. In Montana, this is an elected body, and we are elected from 5 different districts. I represent District 4, and that includes Granite, Powell, Ravalli, Missoula, Mineral, Sanders, and Lincoln counties. So 7 counties over here on the northwestern edge of Montana. I'm running for re-election because the future of Montana energy is really dependent on 2 bodies, the legislature and the Montana Public Service Commission. And we help set the direction of that future. In my tenure on the commission, we have done much to advance wind operations in Montana. We recently approved the 40 megawatt Spion-Kop wind utility in central Montana, and that will now be owned by Northwestern Energy once it is completed. But the important part of that is that the Public Service Commission actually makes pertinent decisions about how our energy is produced and where our energy future will go. We are at a crossroads. We can decide as a state whether or not we're going to remain dependent on dwindling fossil fuels or whether we're going to look towards cleaner, greener, renewable energy for our energy future. The most important resource we have in Montana, and in fact in the United States, is energy conservation, energy efficiency. The energy that we don't use is by far the cheapest, costing about half of what it costs to produce any energy, even from clean and green sources. It's important to remember that even clean energy like wind and hydro and geothermal and solar costs something to produce in terms of new production. It's expensive to put up a wind turbine, or many wind turbines as the case may be. So saving energy is really important. To that end, we really work hard with Northwestern Energy, our main utility in Montana, to promote programs and projects that conserve energy. And in fact, Northwestern Energy saves an average of 6 megawatts per year, average 6 megawatts. And what that means is it's enough energy to power 6,000 households in Montana. That's the equivalent of all the residences in Trout Creek, Thompson Falls, Libby, and Hot Springs, Montana. So it's a tremendous amount of savings, but there always could be more, and the more we save, the better. So always remember that conserving energy is the most important thing you can do. Far better than any kind of new energy resource, even clean energy. So in terms of renewable energy in Montana, we are tied with Kansas for 2nd place in wind potential. That doesn't mean we have developed the 2nd most wind, but in the potential that we have in this state for developing wind, we are 2nd, tied with Kansas. You can all probably guess what state is first. Texas. That's the windiest state out there. But we have great potential here for wind. And a recent polling in Montana and in 6 western states showed that Montanans overwhelmingly support renewable development. And that's an important piece to remember. Obviously, we have a mix of energy resources. We have coal from Coal Strip 4 out in eastern Montana. We have wind resources. We have hydro over here in northwestern Montana. And there's other options for us to develop too. But the important thing is that Montanans truly support renewable energy development. And I am running for re-election so that I can help move forward that vision for Montana. The Public Service Commission really is important in your life. It's kind of a little known office, and often people don't know what the Public Service Commission does. But in terms of your energy future and our energy future, we have a huge say in that direction. And that is why I am running for re-election and hope that you will support me in that effort. So here's an energy tip. Most of you know that lighting uses by far the greatest amount of electricity, except for your appliances. So if you can, change out all of your standard lighting bulbs to CFLs, compact fluorescent lighting. And you can use it in absolutely any light socket. It works everywhere. I've got it in my sconces. I have it everywhere. And the beauty is you almost never have to change the light bulb because they last forever, 4 and 5 and 6 years. So that, along with a programmable thermostat. If you don't have one, you can get one through the utility company or you can get one at your local hardware store. And you program when your thermostat comes on, and so all day long when you're gone at work or wherever you are, you can have your house set really low, and then when you need it to be warm for a couple hours at night before you go to sleep, it can come on and then turn back off again when you go to sleep. Those are 2 great energy saving tips, because remember, energy efficiency, energy conservation is by far our best resource.